Good afternoon, and welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Hermitpack. So, I have been very busy since last episode, playing with chisels and bits. There we go. If you're on my... Oops. Whoa. If you're on my Discord, you probably saw this picture of this that I was working on last night. I did a bit more since then. By the way, this area around here is really laggy. And it was laggy before the chisels and bits, so that's not really the issue. But it seems to be this room over here. So I do apologize about the FPS this episode because we're going to be working in here. But I did cut this down halfway. So, you know, I cut down the amount of fermenting barrels and canola presses. Honestly, they were really here just for appearances, I guess, to have it kind of like even and everything, but that's okay. Anyway, we kind of needed the space. I didn't think about it, but originally I was planning on putting it over there, but for the, you know, maybe some of the more advanced stuff, but I don't know why I didn't take the elevator. But anyways, I did cut that down in half. I was thinking maybe if I cut down the indoor conduits, but it's still laggy. I did bring the farms up a couple more layers, so we have 4 layers of farms right now. And this is eventually going to be a balcony, and this isn't all going to be just this dark cyan. We are going to add in some accents and stuff like that. I'm thinking like black coming down the ridges here, and then I don't know what other color. Got to play around with it and look at some colors. I might do like a gold or something like that, but so far I like the roof quite a bit. It's definitely coming along. And then right here I've just got travel anchors to bring us down. So, but yeah, I do apologize about the FPS. Like, I've been working on fixing it, but it's not really happening. So, I don't know. And then the next floor above that, it's going to connect to a higher level, and then it's going to kind of go out to the base. So you can enter there, or you know, up at the top there. But anyways, I've also got a few more trees. I've been doing a bit of basically just cycling the bees through. Looks like we got some pollination up there, but we did get bull pine. We also got padawak, something like that. So we do have those planted. They're rather large, rather tall trees. So we'll definitely take that. By the way, you'll notice my inventory is full of junk. I apologize. But that's stuff we're going to be using this episode, so that's okay. But anyways, this episode, of course, we want to get the rest of our crystal, canola seeds done. So that is what we're going to be working on. Once again, I do apologize about the FPS. So the first thing I want to do is automate creating crystallized seeds. And it's actually very simple to do. It doesn't take a whole lot of setup. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want an atomic reconstructor. And we're just going to set it up like right here. That's fine. And then let's grab our redstone torch and let's change this over to pulse mode. So it's only going to work on a redstone pulse. And let's go ahead and bring some power down and around. Just plug it into that line. And so now it's got power, and it's only going to work whenever it receives a redstone pulse, which is what we want. And then let's go ahead and put a wooden pressure plate down right there. So if we step on that, you'll notice that it gets a pulse, it activates it, which is great. And then next up, let's go ahead and set up a automatic precision dropper. This is from Actually Additions. Most of the stuff that we're going to be using today is from Actually Additions. I tried to keep it as close as possible to the mod that we're automating. We do have a little bit of extra utilities in here and some Ender IO, but the majority of this stuff is Actually Additions. And we're just going to have it facing down. Realistically, we could bring this down again and set it like right there. I almost think that would be even better. We'll do that. So now we've got this little setup here. And so what I want to do then is first replace that. But I want to bring our canola seeds to this precision dropper. So let's go ahead. And for right now, we're just going to remove this. We'll put it back. I'll end up doing conduit facades for a lot of this, but But let's go ahead and just run this cable line over like so, and we'll say you can insert. Alright, slight change of plans. I'm shifting this over, one more, because there's one other thing I want, and I want to have a nice glassed in plate there in the front so that we can see what's going on, but if we're wearing like ring of magnetism or something, it's not going to pull the items in. So we'll set this up the same. And then right over here, I want to set up a vacuum chest, but before I do that, let me get a canola seed. So if we throw that in there, you'll notice it creates a crystallized canola seed. So we're going to put a vacuum chest right here, and we're going to give it a filter. And we're also going to drop the range. I only want the range to be like 1. Yeah, I like that. But we're going to give it a filter, and we're going to say you can only pick up crystallized canola seeds. And so now, if I was to throw down, say, dark oak planks, not going to pick it up. That's great. That's what we want. And then let's go ahead and set up a drawer. And I'm going to put it right here. And we're going to have it insert on the blue channel, let's say. And we'll have this conduit line come down to the vacuum chest. And we're going to say you're going to extract on the blue line. Okay, I shifted it a little bit to the left, to the right, sorry, to make space. I forgot to actually craft our inventory checker. So we're going to put this down like right here. And what we're going to do, well, first off, let's break this conduit line. I don't want this connecting into here. And we're going to tell it that if it gets crystallized canola seeds and it has, we're going to say slot index number 1. And for right now, we'll set it to 1. And I'll show you what this does, how this works. Absolutely love this block, by the way. If we connect this up, and then we're going to bring it right down here. Get over to this conduit line. It's going to be a mess in here for a little while. Just for this episode. But you'll notice that it's emitting a signal right now. And so this will deactivate. So if I was to throw, say, an insulated redstone conduit in there, it's not going to drop it. But as soon as this level goes, because we have this set to 1. So if it has 1 or more crystallized canola seeds in this system, in this attached inventory, it's going to send out a redstone signal and shut off the precision dropper. But as soon as I pull out that canola seed, it drops that. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this, and by the way, the slot index is, for example, if you had like a chest and it had, X amount of slots, you could pick what slot that goes in. But if you're using a drawer, it's just going to be slot 1 because that's the only slot in that drawer. So we're going to set this to, say, 1,000. If it has 1,000 or more crystallized canola in here, it's going to shut that off. So it's not going to run. And so now, if we were to, I think everything's all plugged up to run. So let's say extract that crystallized, or that standard canola. You'll notice that it's running perfectly and it's crafting these for us. Which is great. That is wonderful. I may end up putting a muffler in here, but truth be told, we're not going to actually spend that much time in here. So, we may not have to have that. But for right now, I'm going to turn this off. It's already filled up quite a bit of that, but that's okay. But we do have our crystallized canola automated now. And so now let's go ahead and automate the process of making this advanced oil. Now I will say that on the plus side, this requires 0 power, the way I automate this. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by putting ourselves down a precision dropper, just like we used over there. We're going to put it down right here. And then we're going to put down 2 scanners. And let me go ahead and actually remove a few of these blocks here. Okay, I pulled the rest of that canola out of there because I don't want to be in here when that's running. It's absolutely annoying. I will end up putting a muffler in here. But anyway, we're going to put a scanner from Extra Utilities right here. This doesn't require any kind of power. And then we're also going to put a scanner on the other side. And I want them both facing in towards the center, just like that. And working, I really wish we had morph. That would be so wonderful. And then we're going to put a fluid placer right here. And then a fluid collector right here. Nope, I want it to face this way. Fluid collector right here. So, wonderful. That's pretty much the setup. So, yeah. But let's go ahead and do the wiring part of it. I'm going to go ahead and actually just remove. So, anyways, this first one, this first scanner, we're going to plug it up. And I want it to, tell you what, I'll connect that floor up later. And by the way, if after this is done, if you guys want a separate tutorial for this, like just on the, just like a tutorial video for both of these, I'll try to get those done this weekend. So we just have a separate tutorial that's not like lagging and it's not, you know, setting up in a room, because I know sometimes this isn't ideal for trying to copy, but we're going to attach this scanner to this, precision dropper. And we're going to say that, the redstone mode, it's going to pulse. We're going to change that over to pulse. And then this fluid collector, we are going to change that over to pulse as well. And what I want to do is I want to take this insulated redstone conduit and just run it over like that. Let's connect that cable up to this fluid collector. So whenever this redstone fluid collector gets a signal, it's going to collect a fluid in front of it. And whenever this precision dropper gets a signal, it's going to drop an item. And since those precision droppers can actually drop items up, or throw items up, I guess, would be a better way to put it. So you don't actually have to have those facing down. If you need them facing up, that's fine. Which is how we've got ours set up right now. And then what we're going to do is let's get... I'm going to have to do... I'll do conduit facades later. Actually, this is probably going to have something and have like a glass layer on top. But anyway, let's grab ourselves a bucket here. And let's get a bucket of our oil. And we're going to set it in here. And we're going to say this one that connects to the precision dropper, the scanner, we're going to set it to current block. And it's going to recognize oil. And so now it's going to emit a redstone signal when there's any oil here. So right now, if you notice, it says power of 15. If I was to remove that, you'll notice it has no power, which is great. And then let's go ahead and get ourselves a crystallized canola seed. And we're going to drop it into that water. And now we have that crystallized oil. So we're going to go ahead and tell this block detector that connects to the fluid collector to set crystallized oil as the block. So now you'll notice the fluid collector here grabbed that crystallized oil, which is great. And so now what we need to do is we just need to plug this up. I think what we'll do is we'll just bring it over like this. That's fine. And we're going to say extract always active. And you're going to insert. So now this is getting all the oil. And you'll notice it's not going to keep like trying to drop oil or anything when there's oil here. If there's a fluid block in front of it, it's going to say, okay, I can't do anything else. So now everything's set up. We just have to plug up the crystallized canola. So let's go ahead and tell this. You can also extract on the magenta channel. And then we'll just plug that item line up to this automatic precision dropper. And we'll say you can accept items on magenta. And that should plug up right there. Yeah, and it's got crystallized canola seed now. So if we take a look upstairs, alright, I don't need to be near that. But you'll notice that it's dropping that canola in and creating oil for us, which is great. That's wonderful. And so this is steadily filling up with crystallized oil. And you'll notice like eventually it's just going to get, this is just going to back up. And this is going to make some crystallized oil and this is going to sit there. And then we can go ahead, if we want to make a buffer, I'm going to make a buffer just because you guys know how I am about that kind of stuff. And we'll say you insert. And I've got this turned off right now. But Anyways, we've got some crystallized oil here, which is great. And then let's go ahead and start setting up the empowerer to make our, this step is actually probably the easiest, I feel like. But we're going to set up our empowerer to start empowering some of this crystallized, some of these crystallized seeds. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to put our empowerer on this center item conduit, and then we're going to put display stands around it. You do need 4 of these, and they need to be 2 blocks out from the empowerer, is the way that works. So we're just going to set it up like this, in like this T shape, and then let's pop on down here. God, this FPS is terrible. Like I said, it's only in this area, and I'm still kind of working on it. We may be able to figure out a way to get it sorted out in the very near future. I've been playing around with it a bunch, so. But anyway, we're going to set these display stands. We're going to set the item conduits to insert on, say, the light blue. I'm pretty sure a lot of it is the Ender IO conduits, and so I'm going to change those out for something else in the very, very near future. So, you know, at least a lot of them. Some of these, like the item conduits, I kind of want to keep just because I like doing the channels. Like, Ender IO conduits are by far like my favorite, but I do know that they lag a little bit, so power and item conduits. Now keep in mind that the empowerer itself doesn't actually require any kind of power, just the display stands do. Which I forgot, we haven't even really covered the empowerer on camera yet in this series, so. This is just a quick and dirty explanation. We'll cover it more if you don't know how to use it or anything. We will cover it more in the very near future. So, actually, we're going to change this to just green. Because I forgot that we already have canolas, just normal canola seeds being pulled out. So we'll just set that to green. That's fine. Alright, and then the empowerer itself, we're going to set that to magenta insert. Because that's the color that our crystallized seeds are on. And then we're going to say you can also extract, and we're going to say it's on yellow. Say always active. Then we'll go ahead and we'll just bring all this stuff around and basically just plug it up into our lines here. Let's go ahead and set these to round robin extract for both of these. And there we go. That canola just got placed there. Then this first one, let's go ahead and manually do it just so we can set up the barrels. So we're going to say, I must have double clicked or something. But anyways, now it's running, and you'll notice it very quickly makes an empowered canola seed. So then what we can do is we can set up our drawer, and let's just put it, I'll tell you what, we're just going to put it right here. For the sake of it, we're going to set empowered canola into that, and we're going to say you can insert on yellow. So this is our wall O canola right now. And now that's automated. That should run fine. We'll check it all here in a minute. Once we have the full system set up, we'll see it all just running and circulating and stuff. So now all we have to do is automate the creation of the final oil, which is really identical to this setup. It is completely identical. Just a little bit different as far as the filters and stuff like that go. So we'll put our automatic precision dropper right there. And then first up, we'll put our fluid placer right here. That way it can just connect into the drum. And we'll do our scanners. We'll do one just right here and one right there. And then let's go ahead and we'll set our fluid collector right here. Alright, and we'll just run this over here. This is for our fluid collector. This scanner is. And then this one, gosh, this FPS drives me insane. Really, really does. Like, there's no sense in this. Actually, just to make life easier, so I don't have to move blocks, what we can do is do that. We'll say in and out. I want to go ahead and snag that back. So this scanner right here is going to detect for our oil. And so let's do a fluid conduit, just like that. Whoops. We're going to change that to pulse. And we're also going to change this to pulse. Totally forgot about that. And we can just fill this back up. It's not a problem. Or empty this out with buckets, I mean. Okay, so now this has nothing in it. And so this first scanner, this one governs the precision dropper. So we're going to go ahead and say, set it to the current block. And it's going to say, okay, crystallized oil. So right now it has a power of 15 because there's crystallized oil. We'll go ahead and configure this with the empowered canola. We'll throw that in there. And this scanner, we're going to say, set it to current block, empowered oil. Well, right now it didn't pulse. That's because it was already changed over or whatever. Okay, it didn't send the pulse that time because I didn't have this all the way connected up. But you know the drill. It'll work. So let me. God, this FPS has gotten terrible. It is the conduits, because it's gotten worse as we move forward. Okay, so that's all plugged up now. And then what we can do is we can just have this go into like a buffer. And so I'm thinking a drum right here with empowered oil in it. And we'll just plug it up like this. Insert and extract. And there we go. Oops. And then we just have to configure up our item conduits for this. So we're going to say the empowered seeds, we'll go ahead and we'll extract those on the lime channel. And then we just have to plug them into our precision dropper. So we'll say you can insert on the lime channel. And of course right now there's nothing to really insert. We don't have the whole system running right this second. And then we just have to plug up this to our fluid line. Okay, so they just ran out. You'll notice that this empowered oil makes 350 RF per tick. So before, that oil that we were making was only 100 RF per tick. So that is a very, very, good jump. I'm happy with it. And so what we need to do to get this up and running is we can just say, you can now extract always active. You'll notice seeds go into all of this, and crystallized seed starts being created, and everything over there is running. What we can do here is we're just going to pull that stuff out. And there we go. Everything's running. It's making seeds. It's making empowered stuff. It's making crystallized. And it's really noisy and really laggy too. So, anyways, that's done. I'm happy with it. And chances are these are probably filling up with, with empowered oil fairly quickly. I mean, if just with these 12, if all of them are running, that's like over 4,000, 4,200 RF per tick, right? Something like that. But anyways, I'm glad to be out of there, because I do apologize once again. We can actually see it going off from here. Like I said, it's just that one little corner of the base too. It's just that one room really is like where I lag. So I can leave that room and everything's fine. I think it's probably all the ender conduits, because there is an absolute ton running around that room. So like I said, I'm going to seek alternatives in the very near future for those ender conduits. At least try to cut back on them a little bit. And we may make some mild adjustments to it. The only concern I have that I might end up changing on that setup is right now, like it doesn't, it's one weird thing I don't like particularly about the actually additions items is it's either pulse or it's deactivate for redstone. And that drives me insane. Like, I wish there was just a redstone and not just a pulse. That's one thing about like RF tools as well, is like their timer runs on works with a pulse instead of just a redstone signal. Absolutely drives me insane. And so what we might do is set up something to actually pulse those signals if I notice it stopping up, because maybe it'll maybe run through all the crystallized seeds, and then whenever it goes to you know, when it would normally throw a seed down, well, the pulses already went off from the scanner, and like the initial, like, here's your redstone pulse, and then what will happen is it will get backed up that way. So I'm gonna see if it gets backed up. Theoretically, it can. So if that happens, I'll make some mild adjustments, and I'll show you guys next episode, you know, what those adjustments are and everything. So we'll see. We'll see how it runs for a little bit, and then I may adjust it a little bit. So because I've only done that like in a test world. I haven't actually like set it up for like long-term running. So, but I'll let you, like I said, I'll let you guys know next episode on that. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we've got a bunch more power now that we can use, so that's great. Or a bunch more potential power. So anyways, with that, I do believe that I'm going to end out the episode. Whoops, I didn't mean to throw that down. But if you guys enjoyed it, as always, be sure and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And next episode, let me grab my book here. Next episode, we will be getting into some auto farms and stuff, because that's something that we definitely need moving forward, both wood and crops. Especially building this, I need wood, you know, and I spent the whole time chiseling, so I didn't end up really getting a whole lot of wood, you know, in that time period. So that's what we'll be working on, and like I said, I'll give you guys updates if I change that, you know, that little system down there, because I'm probably going to end up changing it over to pulsars if it backs up. But I'm going to let it run for a little while, and we'll see. I mean, right now, if I look in there, it's still running, so I'm happy. Or at least that's still going off. I'll go check it. But yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys join me for that. And until next time, as always, do take care, stay safe. And also, this is the last Hermit Pack before the new year. So I hope you guys have a wonderful new year. And I hope the new year brings you lots of joy in everything. So anyways, have a good holiday, and I will see you guys next time.